How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to the channel. As always, appreciate y'all being here. We've got another regional. I think we're calling them qualifiers now, by the way. Top 16 matches have been confirmed, and we've got our prediction bracket out. Figured we'd do a fun one. And while, yes, I say this every time, don't take these so seriously. They're just for fun. I am literally probably manipulating this for a reason, for maybe storylines, fun matchups, or what you'll see at the end of this video. Either way, we're going to jump straight into it. We're going to get through predictions. We've already done these with my chat over at twitch.tv/LAWL if you guys want to come hang out and watch these live. But I figured rather than making you guys sit through a 40-minute video, we're going to summarize these kind of quick based on general thoughts and ideas. Even if it doesn't make sense, I'm okay with it. Either way, first things first, some big things of note. Some notable names like Moist did not make top 16. We do have some new faces. Oida, I think is how you say their name. That is Yukio's new roster with a very talented new French up-and-comer. You've got Belagol, which is speed and higher in the boys back. Endpoint Magnifico still fast forward. That used to be fast four-wheel drive, now fast forward. Top Cougars, which is relating wave team with Toxic and Acro. Greg and his coach is back. Redemption, which is the Cash Astral team, is back. Caliente is new. A lot of people figured they would be top 16 potential. They have made it. And then Hosky is new as well, along with Saw. Saw was the name we saw a lot last year make top 16. That's the Though Mike Boy iteration. They've now brought in Tekos, a much better look. A lot of people are wondering why K-Corp and Gentlemates are playing each other in the first round. And if you guys have not seen my video on that, go and check it out. I put it out, I think, on Wednesday. But because Saw ended up beating K-Corp in the upper bracket, they assume their seed. So Saw is technically the first seed. And then we have K-Corp having to take on the 16th seed. They swap it so we don't have a rematch again. So it is 1 versus 15, 2 versus 16. So we get Gentlemates and K-Corp, the grand finals from last regional, playing each other again. Great stuff. Absolutely love it. Either way, first round, we do have Saw over Hosky. I think Hosky has been proving to play toe-to-toe to a lot of different teams and had some decent results. They actually went to 5 against Gentlemates before dropping down the lowers and playing, I think, 3-1 in their qualifier game. But Saw, I think, is finally starting to identify what they're actually looking for here. Some more exposure to the high levels should help. But I have seen Saw have lows and highs. They usually play down to their competition. If they can continue to be aggressive and play their strengths, they should be all right. Gentlemen's K-Corp, I personally believe K-Corp, it was just a hiccup. I think they're fine. I still think they're the best team in EU. With that in mind, first match of the day, potential for upset. Gentlemates, I like. I think they play clean, but I don't think they have the same peaks of other teams. So Gentlemates, to me, consistent, most likely, but I've also seen them struggle early until they find their footing. I'm going to give it to K-Corp just because I'm going with the better team, in my opinion. Vitality, obviously, over Caliente. BDS over Redemption, pretty obvious. Cougars and Fast Forward, I think, was a little bit tougher for me to pick, but I'm going to go with the veteran experience out of the gate, even though Fast Forward has some names that you should recognize. Magnifico, I think, is the better team over Endpoint, even though I do like the Monkeys roster. Monkeys was Misfits for a little bit as well. Now Endpoint. They have gone back with their original iteration with Matane, Arju, and Smokes. The nice thing is last regional, they did end up clutching and making it into top 8 when normally they fail in round 5. So that builds a little bit of confidence, but that Magnifico team went 3-1. Looked pretty dang solid. I like Atomic a lot. So maybe that's a little bit of a bias pick, but Magnifico's been doing pretty well to solidify themselves as like a consistent 5-8 team. Belagol over Oxygen. I think Oxygen is going to continue to struggle. I really like the Speed and Hyder duo. I think it's been looking a lot better than people predicted, and I just selfishly want them to be successful. And then Team 3, although defensive play style, has proven to be a tough one to beat. As long as you don't fall for it, maybe Yukio and the boys can do something. This could be a breakout game for that new French young gun. We'll see how it goes. Not sure if it's going to happen or not. We then go to round 2. I think Vitality is still a very good team. Also, the talk of this entire week has been Zen has set an all-time ELO record. He is at, what did you guys say in chat? 2656 MMR in 2s right now. The previous record was like 2613 or 2618 or something like that. And when you're that high of ELO, wins and losses only give you like 2-3 MMR unless you're pairing against someone else who is also that high at ELO. So the boy is grinding. One person in chat said he's 150 elo ahead of the second place person. So Zen is grinding. Despite that, I don't think Zen was the issue for Vitality. I think the team just doesn't have the same polish that they once did. I'm going to go to K-Corp in 5, trusting my gut on that one. Will cause chaos in the future. BDS over Belagol. I think BDS is going to continue to get better and better and better. A lot of people, for some reason, are writing them off as a top team. Yes, they threw, but they also went to Game 7 before they were reverse swept by K-Corp in the quarterfinals into the semifinals. Like, BDS was a team that still made top 4 in a rookie's debut and took many who argue the best team in the world to 7. And they should have won. So, BDS, I think, is only going to get better. I think BDS is scary potential. Magnifico, I think, is a better version than Team 3. And Top Cougars and Sa, I've actually had a hard time predicting, but we're going to go with Top Cougars on that one just for fun. We also manipulated it a little bit, so we get this really fun matchup in the uppers, which we'll talk about later. Gentlemates, I think, is a better team than Redemption. Oxygen, although a little bit problematic, is a team that will find ways to win close series. And I do think overall that team is better than Caliente. Oxygen to me is either you get Pixo or they fall apart. Someone other than Ixo's got to carry that team. Someone really needs to step up. Where's the Archie of the old that was completely game-changing? We haven't seen it in a while. Fast forward over Oida, and then Endpoint over Hosky. I think, again, for a lot of teams that are kind of entering the RLCS top 16 for the first time, this is a good learning experience. And I hope the mentality shifts from it's a learning experience we're supposed to lose to we've got nothing to lose. Let's go all out. Let's play confident. That's what I hope happens. We'll see if it does. I think this Hosky team could actually be a pretty big upset team and make it a lot further in this. We then go to round 3. I have BDS over K-Corp because I'm trusting storylines on this one. I'll explain it in the future. Realistically, I would normally go K-Corp, but I think BDS should have closed out that series last time. We'll see what happens. And then Top Cougars, Magnifico. I think Magnifico is the better team. Vitality, Endpoint. Vitality is a better team. Pretty straightforward there. Team 3 is proven to be better than Oxygen. I could see Oxygen still winning that one. We know Oxygen is fully capable of getting those types of wins, but as of right now, I see them on the downward trend, unfortunately. Fast forward over Sa. Sa is easily possible to win this too. Game 5s are a coin flip, especially in this kind of the area. The 1-2-2-2 rounds are always really, really tough to decide on. And then Gentlemates over Belagol. I have Belagol playing a little bit more closely to Gentlemates. For a particular reason you might be able to spot in the next round. And then outside of that, Redemption, I think, is a better team over Hosky. I could see them also finding themselves in a situation, like I could see this Hosky team winning and being in here instead of here. And I could also see them winning this and then keeping themselves alive. I don't want to discredit them. Oida, I think, just gets overwhelmed by Caliente, their offensive playstyle. But I could see Oida beating Caliente too. That's why I have them going to 5. We then go to round 4. A little bit of manipulation on this one to switch some things around. So we get Gentlemates and Vitality playing each other in a 2-1 matchup. I have Vitality winning because of the Zen grind. Maybe that's enough to push them into the right direction. Again, coin flip with any of these top 4 teams, which I'm excited to watch out. Everybody's like, I can't wait for the semifinals of next regional because then we get to see these guys again. No, I'm going to manipulate Swiss so I get them mid-split. The nice thing too is because of this, we're guaranteed probably one of those matchups. So we at least have a round 1 discourse to cause one team to go 0-1, which will cause matches down here, which means that they will meet up sometime in here to qualify. Very likely. K-Corp over Fast Forward. I think K-Corp should win that one pretty convincingly. Team 3's defensive playstyle. Top Cougars, I'm hoping Gregan can recognize the playstyle that they have. That is very exploitable, but I do think Team 3 just has overall the talent in their favor, even though if it feels kind of like an old school versus new school. I'm going to take, Catalysm and how he's been performing personally. I think Catalysm's great. So on the low side, we have Sub beating Redemption because why not? Redemption should probably win that one, but we're going with Suck for fun. Why not? Belagol over Caliente because I do like the Belagol boys and I want to see them continue to be successful. They found themselves in the 2-2 round last time, I'm pretty sure as well. And then I've had a hard time with Endpoint because I've seen this Monkeys Misfits roster so many times get into moments like this where I'm like, you guys are playing better, you're looking better, and then you fall apart. I think Oxygen has proven that they are exploitable and have been having a tough time. I don't know if they're boot camping. I don't know if they're putting things together. I don't know what the work ethic is happening with Oxygen. I hope Snasky is really whipping those boys into shape. But despite that, They had their offseason tournament that they won. They beat G2. And then since then, it's just kind of been like, I haven't really seen much. So it's tough for me to convincingly pick Oxygen. And I have Endpoint going all the way through, as you guys can see in that last round over Fast Forward. I think they're going to clutch it up again. Belagol over Top Cougars for a little bit of chaos. Speed back in top 8. I think it is a lot more talented team. They play a pretty consistent game, but it is very reliant on the midfield pressure. And if they can continue it, and then Gentlemates should wipe. So I could actually see this going to 5 because SUD does play pretty well up to their competition from what I've seen. Shout out to Tecos. Tecos is great. That then brings us to our quarterfinals and a little bit of goofiness. And I know you guys are seeing the full reveal. 2 things in this. Number 1, BDS K-Corp rematch in the semifinals. BDS takes it this time. I assume they win game 1. K-Corp takes game 2 or 3. BDS, I hope, close it out. I really want people to put some respect on the fact that this team is only going to get better. I personally believe BDS is just getting started, and as Drawley and Monkey Moon start to build rapport and they get the comfort and the confidence going, BDS terrifies me. And Exotic showing that he's mechanical and doing the things he's done. Just don't sleep on BDS, man. They might do what they did in spring. Just be careful, okay? Be careful. And I mean that in the Fairy Peak way. K-Corp over Team 3, pretty straightforward. Magnifico over Endpoint, I think is pretty straightforward. Endpoint might bring that one to 7. And then Vitality, why not over Gentlemates? The grind, we believe in it. Let's cause some discourse when it comes to the top 4. Vitality, get your revenge. You guys went to 7 last time. This time you close it out. And they kind of threw last time. So we'll believe in Vitality. If anything, I just want to show that there is 4 very strong teams in EU. And I think we've gotten to see that, but this will solidify that opinion. I then have BDS beating K-Corp for a second time in the same weekend because I want to see a rematch of the World Championship where BDS actually wins it this time. It's a passing of the guard. It is not just a one-horse race. And the best part about it is if we go to the overall results, it means that BDS and K-Corp are tied for first. That's the real reason I'm doing it, is I want to see going into the 3rd and final week, a battle for the number 1 seed, a little bit of potential where these teams are still within point values to where if, hey, I do bump up and I end up winning the entire event, and you don't find yourself in those positions, maybe we can... I want to see a battle between the top 4. I think everybody assumes that these 4 are going to the major. I would like to see a little bit of mix-up, if possible. What does that do for the rest of the brackets and stuff when it comes to trying to make it? There is some teams within throwing range, but they have to make a consistent push for that top 4 and having these teams get knocked out early, which I just don't see happening. So my hope is that we get some interesting matchups between these to see what seeding differences are going to be, because then it creates some more fun conversation when it comes to head-to-head matchups, who your first round is in top 16, all that kind of stuff. So that is what I've got. That is what I have for my predictions. I doubt it's going to happen that way because the reality is I think these top 4 teams are a lot closer. So to see a team, let alone 2, win 2 matches against the same opponent doesn't fit my own narrative. And I know that. But I want it. I want it to be that way. So that's what I've got. That's what we have for our RLCS 2024 EU qualifier number 2 results. It's going to be going down this weekend. I'll be doing a watch party if you guys want to come watch and hang out. Twitch.tv/Lawler. Otherwise, as always, let me know what you guys think down below. What are your favorites? Who are you pulling for to make those top 8s? Let me know when you're down there. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.